There's a new threat just out from Iran. It's directed at Israel. An Iranian news agency saying an aide to Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, is warning of a retaliatory attack if Israel were to fire a missile toward Iran, saying, quote, the dust from an Iranian missile strike will rise in the heart of Tel Aviv even before the dust from the enemy attack settles. Joining us now, Judith Miller, adjunct fellow at the Manhattan Institute, also a Fox News contributor. And I guess they're not even talking solely about the possibility of an Israeli missile strike. They're talking about if Israel were to attack Iran's nuclear facilities, which a lot of people think Israel might consider doing.
Well, the more Iranian leaders issue threats like this, the greater the pressure on Israel to do something about this problem before it becomes a fait accompli. I mean, this is going to really drive another wedge between the United States, which still wants to engage, trying to engage Iran, and Israel, which considers itself a one-bomb country. They cannot permit Iran to get that single weapon, so we're going to be in for some rough times.
Yeah, Iran has said that Israel should be wiped off the face of the earth.
Right, and if you're America, you can say, oh, you know, that's just rhetoric. If you're sitting in Tel Aviv, that threat resonates in a way that it simply doesn't in Washington, D.C.
Why are the Iranians talking so tough and acting so belligerent?
Well, I just talked to a friend who came back from Iran. He's a Rutgers professor named Hushang Amirahmadi, and he said that the regime itself, after its Green Revolution, is growing more radical. They have had it with Obama. They don't believe him. They call him a fake. They call him insincere. They say they prefer George Bush because at least he was honest and blunt, and they don't believe him. But also, after their own revolution, their challenge to power, they are digging in.
So they don't believe the president who was elected on a platform of engagement and speaking to our enemies and that sort of thing.
Exactly. I found that very interesting, but I did not find it surprising because look, John, at the rhetoric and the escalation of the rhetoric. This regime is one in which the Revolutionary Guards are now in control. It's tougher on virtually every issue. It's hard to see how we make any progress here.
But isn't it part of the administration's hope that there's going to become pressure bubbling up from underneath from the young people in Iran who are going to push their government to a more moderate negotiating position?
Well, I think everyone would like that, but I don't think anyone thinks it's going to happen. And in fact, today I was told that even though the foreign minister of Iran, Mr. Mottaki, had said that he thinks there may be a deal on this nuclear swap that the Americans have proposed, which is UN-backed, to take some of the low-enriched uranium out of Iran, a senior administration official told me there is no deal. This is just another Iranian ploy aimed at diverting attention from the American effort to increase the sanctions on Iran.
There is also the proposal. I mean, the Iranians want this S-300 anti-aircraft system they want to buy from the Russians. If they get that, the feeling is it makes it much harder, almost impossible for Israeli planes or maybe even American planes, some kind of airplanes, to go in and take out those nuclear facilities.
Which is why the Russians have been hesitating, because the Americans and the Brits and the other American allies are really pressuring the Russians on this. Russia has a long-standing and very deep economic and trade relationship with Iran. It's going to be very tough, but hence the emphasis by the Obama administration on pushing the reset button. Even in the NPR, the Nuclear Posture Review, even that, they've talked about the importance of lining up with Russia and China on sanctions because they don't want that anti-missile system sold.
Judy Miller, a Fox News contributor. Thanks.